After that chilling teaser, one thing is clear. Squid Game Season 3 is coming for everyone. No fan favorite is safe. From Young-sik possibly having to eliminate his own mother, to the shaman leading her loyal followers to their twisted final fate, here's every player I'm convinced 100% won't make it out alive. Whether there's only one survivor, or none at all. Namgyu. Whether you call him Namsu, Junkie, Mr. Shaky Hands, or even just Bastard, one thing is brutally clear. Namgyu's made way too many enemies. After losing Thanos and taking out Semi, Namgyu became the poster boy for Season 3's most anticipated downfall. The question now isn't if he'll die, it's how. Minsu is perhaps the most obvious executioner. In the teaser, Minsu is seen finally crashing out, with a glare that looks like it could cut steel. Let's hope he follows through and takes Namgyu out for good. However, there's another theory. What if no one kills Namgyu? What if he eliminates himself unintentionally? Remember all of the magic candy he took from Thanos? If he overdoses, it won't be a spectacle, it'll be quiet, pathetic, and maybe that's the point. For someone who caused so much pain, maybe the worst death is one no one even bothers to watch. But if you think Namgyu's death would be brutal, you'd be sadly mistaken. Young-sik and Gumja. This one hurts. In Season 2, the mother-son relationship anchored one of the most emotional arcs in the series, but the teaser makes something horrifying clear. One of them has to go, starting by putting them in opposite teams. In Season 2, Young-sik betrayed Gumja twice. First by voting to continue the games despite her pleading with him not to, and then by abandoning her during the Mingle game when he had a chance to turn back and save her. By now, the weight of guilt might finally catch up to Young-sik. So maybe this is his redemption arc. Maybe Young-sik will sacrifice himself to make things right. But would Gumja ever allow that? During a brief moment in the teaser, we see Gumja completely shattered, leading to speculation that Young-sik has no doubt met his final fate. But what if she's not mourning her son? What if she's about to make the ultimate choice herself? What if she decides to take his place, knowing that only one of them can survive? Either way, there is no way they will both live to see the end of the upcoming season. Kim Jong-dae. Jong-dae or Mr. Gramps might just be one of the most infuriating characters Netflix has ever given us, and his luck is about to run out. From constantly demanding players to continue the games, to valuing money over human lives, Gramps has done nothing but antagonize throughout the entire series. After the second game, he wasn't relieved people survived. He was angry the prize pool had now been diluted. But when does karma catch up? If we assume the tag game is the 4th round, and the doll game follows as the 5th, the teaser gives us a key clue. Players 096, 100, and 353 are all seen alive post-tag. That means, unfortunately, we're stuck with Gramps for at least 2 more games. Still, his time is ticking, and when it comes, it'll be complete poetic justice. Seon-nyo. While the tragic end of Jong-dae feels inevitable, there's another player whose brutal elimination seems just as certain. Seon-nyo, the shaman, along with every last one of her followers. Seon-nyo is the kind of character we've been itching to see eliminated since Season 2. Arrogant, self-absorbed, and clinging to her past reputation as a renowned shaman, she walks through the games like she's owed reverence, when in reality she's hanging by a thread. Her selfishness is unmatched. She lashes out unpredictably, often spurred by anxiety and a need to control. And when it comes to loyalty, she has none. After making it through Mingle, she promptly turned on Hyunju, Young-sik, and Gumja for leaving her behind during a critical moment in the round. At this point, her downfall feels not only likely but deserved, and when it happens, I'll be the first to offer my applause. Park Min-soo. No one had us yelling at our screens like Min-soo did. Season 2 gave him every opportunity to fight back, to stand up to Namgyu and Thanos. But instead, Min-soo was humiliated, broken, and forced to watch his only ally die right in front of him. He was the picture of defeat. Until now. In the teaser, Min-soo returns, but not as the passive, scared player we remember. In a brief shot, he's shown with a look of pure, burning rage. It's the kind of expression that says, enough is enough. During the final vote in Season 2, Min-soo chose X. He wanted to end the games. And at the start of the teaser, his badge still reflects that. But in a later moment, everything changes. His badge has suddenly switched to a blue O. So what happened? The most likely theory, Min-soo survives the tag game, and in the aftermath, something inside him snaps. Maybe it's revenge, maybe it's guilt. But whatever it is, it's enough to change his vote, and possibly the course of the entire season. Still, don't expect a clean redemption arc. Min-soo's journey feels like TNT, and when it blows, it's going to take someone with it. And speaking of TNT, there's one more player whose downfall feels engineered for maximum impact. Lee Myung-gi, the infamous crypto bro, is practically marked for one of the most devastating deaths in Season 3. He entered the games with a 1.8 billion won debt after his crypto coin, Dalmontian, crashed and ruined lives, including that of fellow player 230, Thanos. And how did he handle the fallout? By abandoning his pregnant girlfriend, Jun-hee. At first, Myung-gi tried to align with the O-Gang, thinking power and loyalty might earn him protection. But after relentless harassment from Thanos and the revelation that Jun-hee was expecting his child, something cracked. He switched sides to X, desperate for redemption, or at least forgiveness. He got neither. Jun-hee shut him down, cold, and yet Myung-gi kept going. It wasn't until the bathroom brawl that we saw what he was truly capable of. In a shocking moment of violence, Myung-gi stabbed Thanos in the neck, trying to make up for all the damage he caused. The teaser only fuels Myung-gi's potential, showing him with blood splattered across his entire face. Whether it's the aftermath of taking down Nam-gyu or someone else entirely, it's certain that Myung-gi won't hold back in Season 3, possibly even sacrificing himself in the process. For a character who started as a walking red flag, Season 2 gave us glimpses of real humanity, especially when it came to Jun-hee and their unborn child. That's why fans are convinced, if anyone's going out with a tragic redemption arc, it's MG Coin. Kim Jun-hee. Let's talk about the taboo. The unspoken rule in Korean dramas that pregnant women almost never die on screen. In most K-dramas, a baby is symbolic of hope of the future. Killing a pregnant woman on screen? That's going way too far. But here's the problem. Squid Game isn't a K-drama. Her entire arc so far has revolved around her pregnancy, but she hasn't shown the resilience or strategic mind needed to outlast the rest of the games. She's made it this far only because others have carried her, especially MG Coin, who even waited during the six-legged race just to make sure she had a partner. But that protection won't last forever. Some fans argue that the frontman has a soft spot for her. But come on, if he really cared, why let her in the game in the first place? He has access to every file. He knew she was pregnant. But what about the milk gesture? It was nothing more than performance, a psychological manipulation tactic to earn Gi-hun's trust. Saying the frontman cares about Jun-hee is like saying he cared about Young-bae, the same player he saved during Mingle, only to later shoot in cold blood when it suited his plan. In the teaser, she's shown crying, stripped of her jacket. That confirms she survives the tag game, but that moment feels more like a goodbye than a victory. And then, there's the baby's cry, that haunting sound in the teaser's final seconds. If that baby is born, Jun-hee's arc is well over. Her death would be heartbreaking but inevitable. And while Jun-hee's story may end in sorrow, there's another figure on the fringes of the game whose quiet compassion could lead to an equally tragic fate. Kang No-eul. No-eul is one of those characters we desperately want to see more of in Season 3. She's not a player. She's not a VIP. She's a guard, but somehow the only one who actually feels human. In the Season 2 finale, fans noticed something odd. When she shot Park Gyong-seok, the Strawberry Hat Girl's father, the angle looked off. She fired, yes, but many fans believe she deliberately missed his vital organs. In the teaser, he's shown alive, possibly confirming the theory. Some fans believe she'll be the mole, the spy, the one who will eventually join forces with Detective Jun-ho to dismantle the system from within. And that theory? It fits. No-eul has always seemed like she was waiting for the right moment to act. But here's the problem. We've seen what happens to guards who break the rules. Season 1 made it crystal clear when a few guards helped the doctor cheat by harvesting organs. They weren't just punished, they were erased. And that was for helping one player in one game. No-eul is playing a much more dangerous game, threatening the entire system from within. She may survive the opening episodes. She'll be important, maybe even central to the subplot. But when her betrayal is exposed, and it will be, her death will be brutal and unforgettable. Jun-hee isn't the last player who will suffer a brutal fate, as there is someone whose every step toward victory feels like a setup for tragedy. Cho Hyun-ju. Hyun-ju might be the most deserving winner of Squid Game Season 3, but that's exactly why she won't survive. A former Special Forces soldier discharged after coming out as a trans woman, Hyun-ju enters the game with more than just her instincts. She's sharp, trained, and tactical, the kind of player you'd bet your life on. But she's not just playing for money, she's playing for freedom, for dignity, for a future where she can live safely, perhaps as a Kathoi in Thailand. She's got skills to win, but what she doesn't have is emotional distance. We saw the cracks back in Season 2 when she risked everything trying to save Kim Young-mi. It was brave, noble, but it showed her hand. She feels deeply, and that makes her vulnerable in a game that punishes compassion. Many fans believe she'll make it to the final round only to suffer a heartbreak, on par with Se-byuk's death, or worse, an Ali-style betrayal. That possibility is chilling. Imagine her trusting someone, just once, only to be stabbed in the back, or sacrificing herself for a character like Young Mai in a split-second decision that cost her everything. The frontman. Originally a player himself, In-ho didn't just survive, he ascended. After winning a previous Squid Game, he vanished from society and re-emerged as the frontman. But here's the twist. In-ho genuinely believes he's doing the right thing. That the games, brutal as they are, teach truth. That the world only rewards those who put themselves first. That's why he entered the games again as player 001. Not to win, not to blend in, but to break Gi-hun. To prove that hope, sacrifice, and empathy are all meaningless. But beneath the mask, there are fractures. In-ho isn't completely devoid of emotion. Not only does he genuinely grow fond of Gi-hun during his infiltration of the games as player 001, but he also cares for his brother deeply. This is obvious from his reaction to Junho's arrival on the island in the show's first season. He certainly doesn't want to shoot his brother, but recognizes that letting him live would put the games at too much risk. This complex dynamic between In-ho and Junho could prove important in Squid Game Season 3 if the latter manages to infiltrate the island again. However, the frontman's redemption arc is dead with Young-bae. In-ho murdered him in cold blood, a symbolic act that showed us there's no coming back, no healing, no second chance. His humanity was burned, and narratively, there's only one satisfying way to end his story: in his death. Whether it's Junho who pulls the trigger, Gi-hun who outsmarts him, or No Yul who exposes him, In-ho's downfall will be poetic. It has to be. Now let's move on to the heart of the story, the main character himself, Seong Gi-hun. There is an interesting but possible theory around Gi-hun, one that doesn't end with him winning, or saving anyone, or even escaping. It goes as follows. As a result of the rebellion, Gi-hun becomes too much of a risk. So instead of letting him return to the games, the VIPs will make him watch. They'll taunt him, mock him, parade him in front of violence he can't stop. And all the while, the frontman watches silently from above. Inside the arena, things will get worse. Players will all spiral into fighting, and in one devastating sequence, they'll all fall, one after the other. Their chaos is what finally pushes the rest of the players to end the games. And that's when the frontman will approach Gi-hun with two options: join the Squid Game or die. Gi-hun wouldn't be able to stomach either. He'll refuse to become part of what destroyed his soul, but also won't bring himself to escape again. So he'll choose death. In one final moment of twisted closure, the frontman will remove his mask, shocking Gi-hun with his identity, and then Gi-hun will be executed. But the story doesn't just end there. The scene will cut to many years later where Gi-hun's daughter becomes an adult woman in America, most specifically in Ohio, where she is heavily in debt. And then, a mysterious man with the Squid Game mask will approach her. With Season 3 now less than a month away, who do you think will die? And make sure to subscribe to the channel, as I'll be the first to cover the most insane Squid Game theories and breakdowns.